Authorities have made an arrest in the case of a suspected gunman who pointed a loaded weapon at a group of students at Mount San Jacinto Community College earlier this morning. It was right here on Folino Drive and Nutwood Avenue where 22-year-old William Nguyen was apprehended by officers. Dashan, if you want to follow and see all her wonderful adventures. This morning alone, I managed to pick up more than 200 cigarette butts off of our school ground. Getting ready to head out for our fall 2019 cigarette pickup. We're here with everybody. Are we excited? Woo! The 9/11 Memorial Committee in Indianapolis, Indiana, celebrated the event by announcing to expand its memorial site. This week in entertainment, we've got all your favorite celebrities making the headlines. So let's check out just what they've been up to. Now we'll take a look at a difficult topic, abortion, and how Shayla's story could have been different with the new legislation that'll impact college students across California.
Once I made that decision, I knew that I had to turn my life around. And since then, I've been pushing myself.
There you go.
I'm currently 32 years old. I'm a mother of 3, and I go to school part-time, and I take my kids to their sport activities almost every day.
Today, as a college student and a mother, Shayla does her best at managing her family life, a career, and her studies as a nursing major. However, 14 years ago, when she first began her college experience, Shayla says she was feeling lost and unsure if she'd be able to handle what life was about to throw at her next.
I was in a relationship with my high school sweetheart, and I ended up pregnant. I was about 17, and my mom had warned me if I ever got pregnant, she was going to kick me out. So I didn't know what to do. I obviously wasn't ready. I was doing bad in school. So at that point, I felt like my only option was to abort if I wanted to have a future. The only person I can talk to was my older sister. So we went to a clinic where the first time they said that I didn't have insurance, so I couldn't get it, and it was going to be $500 for me to take a pill to do the abortion. I did not have $500. I didn't work, so I didn't know what to do. They were about maybe 40 minutes away. So, I mean, if me by myself, I wouldn't have been able to get there, or I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have had no option but to keep it in my mind. I felt maybe I wouldn't have no option. So my sister was my transportation.
I basically had to give them my information because I was a driver. That was the basic information they got from me, nothing much. Everything was done through her. They didn't even let me go inside with her in the beginning, not even to look at the room or anything. She just described it to me afterwards.
Nearly a decade and a half later, access to an abortion pill or clinic is still made difficult to come by. But thanks to a new California statute, college students now have hope.
So this was just signed by the governor within the last month or so. It's going to require the California State University campuses and the University of California campuses to provide medical abortions, the availability for that for students on campus by 2023. Currently, we have basic health services that are available. Typically, if you need something where you need some general medication, this is going to expand that. So this is really an initiative by the governor to provide additional health services to our students. So we're going to take a look at that and over the next 3 years determine what resources are necessary to be able to implement this. We want to make sure that it's a safe environment for students. That's the most important thing, is that the health and safety of the students is the most important thing.
Now, with the College Student Right to Access Act, students at Cal State Fullerton can look forward to accessing medical abortion services right here on campus. For OC News, I'm Amber Irwin. School shootings are a growing concern for our country. Statistics show over 22 school shootings have occurred this year alone. And now, Cal State Fullerton had a threat of its own this past Wednesday when a student brought his registered revolver on campus.
He had surveillance out there on his vehicle, and the second he came back to the car and started driving, we had a bunch of officers that kind of swarmed him right away to make sure that he didn't get too far out into traffic. He got a little bit further out than we wanted him to, but everything that we do doesn't always work out exactly how we plan it.
It was right here on Folino Drive and Nutwood Avenue where 22-year-old William Nguyen was apprehended by officers and charged with a felony. On Monday, he was later released on a $25,000 bail. Police department's social media alerted those on campus to take every precaution, but still many were unaware.
What's weird is I didn't really hear it until the day after from a coworker of mine, and I was like, well, dude, that's crazy. In terms of safety, it's pretty much difficult to control and oversee how many students are here, like 40,000 students are here.
After a whirl of events over the first 5 weeks of the fall semester, many students are left with mixed feelings as for their safety on campus.
On campus, I feel pretty safe. It's just when you hear these things and that's what's being pointed out, that's when it gets super duper scary.
I think the weirder thing is that there's no cameras in any of the parking structures.
I've also seen those little emergency buttons, I don't know what they're called, but where you can actually have an officer escort you, so I think that's really wonderful. In fact, I'll be bringing my daughter later on to campus at 7, and so I was like, that's wonderful because later at night I can have someone escort us back.
CSUF PD is hosting an active shooter training drill this Sunday, October 6th, and next Sunday, October 13th, to help give the students any insight on how to prepare in the event there is an active shooter situation on campus. For OC News, I'm Amber Irwin.